My name is Sarah Miller. I'm 36 years old. 5 years ago, my parents told me they couldn't afford to save my 7-year-old daughter's life. They said they were broke, stretched thin, on a fixed income. 2 months later, I found out they co-signed a $580,000 waterfront condo for my brother, and the purchase agreement was signed 2 weeks before my daughter's heart stopped beating. They don't know that I kept every single receipt, every email, every text message, 63 pages of proof. Last month, my brother collapsed at his office in Seattle. Acute myeloid leukemia. The doctor said he needs a bone marrow donor, a perfect 10 out of 10 HLA match. My mother called me for the first time in 4 years. She was crying. She said, "Sarah, you're his only chance." What happened next changed everything they thought they knew about me. This is that story. I need to take you back to when I still believed my parents loved both their children equally. I was born in 1990. My brother Jake came first, 4 years earlier. We grew up in Haydenfield, New Jersey, one of those upper-middle-class suburbs. My dad was an accountant. My mum, Helen, worked as a manager at Wells Fargo. But if you looked at the numbers, and I eventually did, you'd see the pattern. Jake's college fund, $34,000. Mine, $8,200. I asked my mum once. She said, "Honey, Jake's older. We had more time to save." I graduated from Temple University with $61,000 in debt. Jake graduated from Princeton, debt-free. Christmas, 1998. Jake unwrapped a Nintendo 64, brand new, with 4 games. I got a used bike from a garage sale, spray-painted purple. "We thought you'd like the exercise," Dad said. Family dinners became showcases for Jake's achievements. Thanksgiving 2015. I was working at a non-profit helping homeless families, making $41,000 a year. My mum set down the turkey. Jake closed a $12 million acquisition. Everyone applauded. Then to me, "Sarah, how's your job at the non-profit going?" Like it was a hobby. Jake's bonus that year was $340,000. I met Daniel in 2013. We fell in love fast. He proposed in 2014. I was pregnant. My parents were disappointed. My mum forced a smile at my baby shower. My dad wrote us a check for $500. The same month, he gave Jake $15,000 for a down payment on his first car. Lily Miller was born on April 3, 2014. She had my eyes, bright green, curious, and Daniel's smile. My parents visited twice in her first year. May 12, 2021. Lily fainted at school. Her heart rate was 130. We went to the ER. The doctor referred us to CHOP. Dr. Rachel Weinstein did an echocardiogram. Lily has dilated cardiomyopathy. Her heart is enlarged and isn't pumping efficiently. Her ejection fraction is 28%. Normal is 50 to 70. What does that mean? Her heart is failing. She needs a transplant. The average wait is 18 months, but with priority status, her chances improve. To get listed, we needed a deposit, $164,000 after insurance. Total cost, around $1.2 million. Without the transplant? 6 months to a year. With it, her 5-year survival rate is 83%. We had 8 weeks. We went through our finances. Savings, $12,000. Daniel's 401k, maybe $42,000 after penalties. Mine, $18,000. We were renters. We made a GoFundMe. 3 weeks later, we'd raised $31,240 from 1,847 people. We were still $114,000 short. "Sarah," Daniel said quietly, "we need your parents." I hadn't asked them for money in 15 years, but this was Lily. I called my mum on June 8, 2021. I told her everything. Long pause. "Have you tried a GoFundMe?" she said. They called back 4 days later. My dad did the talking. "We're on a fixed income. If we liquidate now, we'd lose 40%. We can't destroy our retirement." "Dad, Lily is 7 years old. We have to think long term. What if we get sick? How much do you have in savings?" "That's not relevant. I need $114,000 to save my daughter's life. We don't have liquidity. I'm sorry." He hung up. Daniel called my dad on June 22nd. The response was colder. "We can't enable financial irresponsibility. What about Lily's biological father?" "Oh, you're not him, are you?" Daniel didn't tell me until 3 months after Lily died. On June 28, we flew to Naples, Florida. My parents' condo was worth $385,000. My mum opened the door, surprised. We sat in their living room, new furniture, a Peloton, a wine fridge. I explained again. My mum cried real tears. "If we had it, we'd give it, but what if we get sick? What if Lily dies?" I whispered. My dad's face hardened. "That's not fair. You're manipulating us." We flew home. On July 8th, I convinced my parents to visit Lily at the hospital. I thought if they saw her, held her hand, they'd change their minds. Lily was so happy. "Grandma, Grandpa, the doctors say I'm getting a new heart, like a superhero upgrade." They stayed for 2.5 hours. They read her a book. They laughed at her jokes. Then in the parking lot, "Dad, please." He shook his head. They drove away. The deadline was 7 days away, July 15th, 2021. I called Dr. Weinstein. "We didn't make it," she said. They'd keep Lily comfortable. That night, Lily asked when she'd get her new heart. I lied. I told her soon. August was brutal. Her ejection fraction dropped to 18%. She lost 9 pounds. She was tired all the time. "Mommy," she said one afternoon, "I'm tired all the time. Is that normal?" I forced a smile. "When do I get my new heart?" "Soon," I whispered, but we both knew I was lying. On September 8th, Lily was admitted to the ICU. Daniel and I stayed with her, held her hands, told her stories, sang her favorite songs. At 6:31 a.m. on September 9th, 2021, her heart stopped. I watched them do chest compressions on my 7-year-old daughter's tiny body. At 6:47 a.m., Dr. Weinstein looked at me. "Time of death. I'm so sorry." Daniel sobbed. I sat there holding Lily's hand. It was still warm. I held it for 40 minutes before they made me let go. I didn't call my parents. Jake did. They flew in for the funeral. 312 people came. My parents sat in the back row, my mum in a black Chanel suit, my dad in his navy blazer. After the service, my mum approached me. "If there's anything we can do," I pulled my hand away. "You could have done something. You didn't." 2 days later, a condolence card arrived with a check for $500. I donated it to CHOP in Lily's name. For 2 months, I barely functioned. I quit my job. I sat in Lily's room. I didn't sleep. On November 19th, at 2:14 a.m., I saw my mother's Facebook post. "Beautiful weekend visiting Jake's stunning new waterfront home. So proud of our successful son." Photos of Jake and his wife on a balcony overlooking Puget Sound. The condo was gorgeous. On January 14th, 2022, I pulled up King County property records. Owner, Jake Charles Miller. Purchase date, October 15th, 2021, 1 month and 6 days after Lily died. Sale price, $580,000. Purchase agreement signed, August 23, 2021. Down payment, $130,000. Co-signers, Charles and Helen Miller. 2 weeks before Lily died, they were signing mortgage papers while I was begging God to keep my daughter's heart beating. I printed everything, 63 pages. I put them in a binder. The next day, Daniel found me at the kitchen table. I slid the binder across. He flipped to my dad's Vanguard statement. Balance $680,000. My mum's 401k, $520,000. Over $1 million. Then he found the email on an old iPad still logged into my mum's account. August 10, 2021, from Charles to Helen and Jake. We've reviewed the financials. The Seattle market is hot. Helen and I have discussed Sarah's situation. The transplant is a gamble. Even with surgery, the 5-year survival rate is around 70 to 80%. We'd be liquidating retirement for a maybe. Jake's condo is a sure thing. Family wealth stays in the family. Family wealth stays in the family. I wasn't family. Lily wasn't family. We were a maybe, a gamble. Jake's condo was a sure thing. On February 1, 2022, I called my mum. I want to have a family dinner, all of us. You, Dad, Jake, his wife. I want to sit across a table from you. February 12, 6 p.m. We pulled up to 1847, Cypress Terrace. My mum opened the door sobbing. I stood stiff. My dad looked older. Jake looked uncomfortable. We sat down for dinner. Glazed salmon, roasted vegetables, a $38 bottle of Chardonnay. 15 minutes of small talk. Then I reached into my bag and pulled out the binder. I placed it on the table. This is Lily's death certificate. September 9, 2021. Cause of death, cardiac arrest. My mum went white. This is the property record for Jake's condo. Purchase price, $580,000. Down payment, $130,000. Co-signers, you. I flipped to the email. Family wealth stays in the family. Page 18, your Vanguard statement. $680,000. Page 19, Mom's 401k, $520,000. You had over $1 million. My dad stood up. This is out of context. You wired $130,000 to Jake 6 weeks after you told me you were broke. We were trying to help the family long term. Lily was family. She was 7 years old. Jake spoke quietly. Sarah, I didn't know the full details. The condo was an investment. Medical expenses are a black hole. Lily's odds weren't great. Her odds were 83%. That's still a gamble. The condo has guaranteed return. She was 7 years old. My dad's face flushed. You want the truth? Fine. We made a choice. Lily had a 68% chance at best. That's a coin flip. We're old. We have to protect our future. We chose the smart financial decision. Even if we had given you the money, he continued, Lily probably would have died anyway. We would have wasted $100,000 on a... He stopped. On a what? Say it. We would have wasted $100,000 on a corpse. Daniel stood up so fast his chair fell over. I stood slowly. You're right, Dad. Lily is dead, and you killed her. Not the disease. You had the money. You chose a view over her heartbeat. You chose granite countertops over her breath. You will never contact me again. If I see you in a grocery store, I will turn around. You are not my parents. You are investors who cut a bad asset. And Jake, enjoy the view. Every sunrise on Puget Sound is Lily. You bought it with her life. We walked out. 4 years of silence. My mum called 47 times. I blocked her. My dad sent emails. I marked them as spam. Jake texted. I blocked him. I changed my number. Letters came. I wrote, "Return to sender." The 11th arrived on April 3rd, Lily's birthday. I burned it in the kitchen sink. I started therapy. Dr. Monica Shaw. Are you grieving your daughter or your family? Both. You're allowed to grieve both losses. I went back to work at a different nonprofit, $61,000 a year, helping kids in the foster system. Kids failed by the people who were supposed to protect them. I understood them. Then the phone rang. December 3rd, 2026. Unknown number. Sarah, please don't hang up. It's Mom. It's Jake. He's dying. Leukemia. He collapsed at work. The doctor said he needs bone marrow. You're the only chance. Please. How did you get this number? Please. He's your brother. I don't have a brother. I hung up. 2 days later, a patient advocate from Swedish Medical Center called. Your brother has acute myeloid leukemia. Without a transplant, his prognosis is 4 to 8 weeks. Siblings have a 25% chance of being a match. Would you be willing to undergo HLA typing? I agreed to the test. Just information. The results came back 3 days later. You're a perfect 10 out of 10 match. The probability is only about 3%. You're Jake's best chance. 3%. My dad had said Lily's 83% wasn't good enough. Now I was the 3% miracle. Without a transplant, he had weeks. With my donation, his 5-year survival rate would be 65 to 75%. Better odds than Lily had. I didn't sleep for 4 days. Daniel stayed close. I kept thinking about Lily. What would she want me to do? I knew the answer. I hated it. I called Dr. Shaw. If I save him, they win. Who wins? My parents, Jake. They always get what they want. And if you don't save him? I was quiet. I become them. What would you tell Lily if she were here right now? I closed my eyes. I'd tell her I love her. She's the best thing I ever did. What would she tell you? She'd tell me to save him. On December 19th, I called back. I'll do it, but I don't want to see my parents. I don't want to see Jake. I'll do this, and then I'm done. They arranged separate waiting areas, private recovery. December 27th, 2026. They wheeled me into the OR. I woke up sore. Daniel was next to me. Did it work? They got what they needed. Jake's transplant is tomorrow. That evening, there was a knock on my door. Jake stood there, thin, pale, bald from chemo. I know you don't want to see me. I just needed to say something. I don't deserve this. I would have understood if you let me die. I didn't do it for you. I know, but I'm sorry. For all of it. For the condo. For Lily. I looked at him. Okay. That's it? Just, okay? What do you want me to say, Jake? That I forgive you? I don't. But I'm not going to let you die. Not because you're my brother, because I'm not them. Now go back to your room. He turned to leave. Jake, Lily would have wanted me to save you. That's why I did it. 3 weeks later, the advocate called. The transplant worked. He's going to make it. 6 months later, a letter arrived forwarded by the hospital. My parents had sold the Naples condo and donated the full proceeds, $385,000, to CHOP's cardiac transplant fund in Lily's name. We were profoundly, devastatingly wrong. If you ever want to talk, we're here. We love you, we're so sorry. A year later, in February 2028, I called my mum. Coffee. At my house, you and Dad, just to talk. They stood on my porch, old, smaller than I remembered. We sat at my kitchen table. Daniel had made coffee, scrambled eggs, toast. We ate in awkward silence. Then we talked. Small things, the weather, work, my mum's book club. Lily's photo was on the mantel. Everyone saw it. No one said anything. When they left, my mum turned at the door. Can we do this again sometime? Maybe. I'll let you know. People ask me if I've forgiven them. I don't have an answer. Some days I'm angrier than others. Some days I see Lily's face and I want to scream. But my parents sold their dream home and gave every penny to save other children. Jake calls once a month. We're not close. We may never be. I didn't save Jake because I forgave him. I saved him because I'm not them. Because Lily taught me that love isn't transactional. It's not an investment with guaranteed returns. It's a choice. They chose wrong. I chose different. Last week, I went to Lily's grave. I brought pink roses, her favorite. I sat there for an hour, telling her about the breakfasts with Grandma and Grandpa, about the fund in her name that's already helped 2 kids get transplants. I told her I missed her, and for the first time in 6 years, when I walked away from that cemetery, I smiled. 4 plates, 4 chairs, a new beginning. Not perfect, but real. And maybe that's enough.